Welcome to the port of Tangier Med, the very edge of Morocco. Over the next 5 days or so, I am travelling from Morocco back to the UK, and I'll be making a few fun stops along the way. First up, I've got to get a ship from Tangier to Algeciras. I've got a bit of a wait as we got here 2 hours early, and it is an hour and a half delayed. But we're going to head downstairs, get our passport stamped, and go through to the waiting area because I think it is a bit more comfortable there. So come on then, let's go. This is Tangier Med Port. It is really big and pretty shiny, but Cafe Vero, which is the only cafe I've found so far, does not look open. Goes all along the length of here. Toilets are at the back there. And then all the counters of all the ferry companies are just along here as you go in. You have to go through airport staff security to enter. And then there is an area just at the end where you can actually buy tickets. We bought our tickets yesterday with direct ferries. And then there's a waiting area here. Hello.
Hi.
All right. Follow the boarding signs. Oh yeah, we go downstairs, that's it. A bajo. We are about an hour and a half late in counting, but we have finally boarded the ferry. The next mission was to get some food. Not much in the way of veggie options. Came to the cafeteria first and they said they didn't have anything. So then we went to the other little snack bar and they did have a tortilla sandwich, but I don't really eat eggs on their own. So I came back to the cafeteria and just found a bowl of vegetables, but it doesn't look hugely appetizing, but I'm quite happy just to have some veg, really. Goodbye, Morocco. I'm actually really sad to be leaving Morocco. I have had the best time here. If you haven't already, do check out all my Morocco videos, which will all be live now. And I don't know if I explained earlier, but I have actually been in Morocco with my mum, and she is coming with me as far as Seville, and then she's flying back from Seville. I'm trying to show my mum the joys of overlanding, but this 2-hour delayed ferry hasn't done much to do that, unfortunately. But we are on the way now, so looking forward to getting to Algeciras and finding our hotel. But let's have a little walk around the ferry just to show you what it's like. This is the second time I've taken the ferry between Morocco and Spain. In August, I took a ferry from Spain to Morocco, and now I'm taking one back the other way. This is actually a lot bigger than the one I was on in August. There's 2 eating areas, there's like some airline style seats, and I haven't even gone to the top deck yet, so should we go and have a look? Also seems to be a Cypriot ship. It's the Cyprus flag up there. This is the canteen style eating area. So this is self-serve like you get quite often on ships. And this is where they had the vegetables. You've got loads of seating areas here. This is not a busy ferry at all. Carry on walking through, and these are the airline style seats. I don't think any of these are reserved. Well, actually, I feel like when I booked, maybe I did have to reserve a seat, but they've not got numbers or anything. They're very bog standard Ryanair seats, basically. And then there is a cinema here. Today's free movie. I don't think that is the movie. Screen 1, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing going on in here. No movie on this ship. I'm guessing that they only have movies on when it's actually going a distance, because this ferry is probably not even long enough to watch a movie. There is actually a shop here as well. Yeah, I think the shop was closed. There were a few people in there, but I think they were staff doing stock taking. So we've got here the barista, cafeteria and lounge bar. A big seating area here. And then you can get a coffee and whatnot actually at the cafeteria. And then let's see if I can walk all the way around. Oh yeah, so it just goes around, and then there are also airline style seats further along. Now, I had a couple of people commenting on my previous ferry videos that I should say the name of the ship in them, which, yeah, I definitely should. Good suggestion. So this one is the P.L. Anglada, which is named after a poet, so Poeta Lopez Anglada. And there's actually a poem of his on here. So let's have a little look. Carmen Rojas, la marina, de suerte está cantado, y los barcos de la amina están con tus pies baleando. Oh, what does that mean? Red Carmen at the marina of Ceuta is happy that the boats from Almina and her feet are dancing. If you speak Spanish, you can have a read. I did actually manage to have a Spanish conversation earlier, which I was quite proud of because my Spanish is rusty to say the least. Oh, there's another one here. Seguirá siendo el sol cuando vamos. Yes. Oh, it's breezy. It's breezy. Right, so Morocco's over here. But the question is, can I go up here and see Spain? This doesn't really feel like I should be out here, but I mean, it was open. There's a lot of ropes and everything. Spain is over there somewhere. If it was daylight, I'm sure I could see it. I can see some lights, but not much else. Anyway, I am going to go in because I'm too much of a rule abider, and I feel like even though that was open, I probably shouldn't be out there. And that is pretty much it for the ship, so I think for the rest of the crossing, I'm just going to find somewhere to sit and relax and read my book, etc. Hello. Hello. You're right. Really important thing to know if you're taking the ferry from Spain to Morocco is that you actually have to go through immigration on the ferry. So you get stamped out of Spain, in Spain, and then you board the ferry and then you go through Moroccan immigration actually on the ferry. I wasn't sure if it would be the same the other way around, but I've had a thorough look around the boat and there is no one who looks like they would be stamping my passport, so I'm pretty sure that we go through immigration once we get off the ferry. We have disembarked the ship and finding our way to customs. This is a huge port. There weren't many people on our ship at all, so it's not busy, but it's like an airport. Another ship over there is just leaving. I don't remember that one. Quite have a yeah. It is 11:30 and I've just checked into the Hotel Mir Octavio, which is right by Algeciras bus station, so that will be very handy for our next leg of the journey tomorrow. The ferry was 2 hours late in the end, but all was fine with disembarking. Got a taxi to the hotel and now I'm gonna go to sleep. Ooh. I went through Algeciras last time I travelled from the UK to Morocco without flying. Most trips go through Algeciras. But I was rushing through because I was seeing how quickly I could get from London to Morocco without flying. Take a look at my video, be somewhere here if you haven't already. I don't think there's that much to do in Algeciras itself. I think it's more like a port city, but I am very excited to take a bit of a slower route through Spain and Andorra and France to get home. So this route that I'm taking this time is more of a route that normal people would take. Like, it's more of a route that I think I would actually recommend to people rather than that 30-hour race I did. I wouldn't really recommend it for anyone who doesn't nerd out about these kind of things. Anyway, I'm gonna go to sleep now and I will share the rest of my journey with you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. Oh, my voice sounds croaky, but I had a decent sleep. Just getting ready for the day now. It's 9 o'clock and the bus leaves at 9:30, but literally when I say we are next door, I'll show you when I walk down. So the next step of my journey is to take a 3-hour bus from Algeciras to Seville. Then we are staying in Seville for a couple of nights. So it's only a small amount of travelling today. Mum is probably going to be waiting for me downstairs, so let's go. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So we're just leaving the hotel and the bus station is right here. We have arrived at the bus station after a 1-minute walk. Bit of a sleepy bus station is Algeciras. It mainly serves a few routes to places in the south of Spain. This is like the main entrance. We came in at more of a side entrance. Bienvenido. Oh look, there is coffee and everything here. Okay, I'm guessing it's the second one. Seville. Seville. Platform 10. I think that's one. Hola, buenos días. Arrived at the hotel in Seville. I definitely need to take this jacket off because it is not huge puff out jacket weather yet. I need a coffee and I'm hungry, so let's go investigate all of that. This hotel's a pretty decent hotel actually. I think it is quite new. It was a lot cheaper than other 3-star hotels in Seville on these dates. We are here at the weekend, so prices were a bit high. But let me just give you a quick tour. This is the bed, and it's only a small space, but it's quite well contained. So we've got the sink here, and then everything like hairdryer, hand soap, and even a little chair. TV here, and then the toilet is just in here. So very close for comfort. Could be a bit awkward if you're staying with someone you don't know that well. And the shower is up here. And it looks like a nice rain shower. But right now, all I can think of is coffee and food. So let's go. 3. It is, isn't it? We are having quite a relaxed day in Seville today. Just having a little amble around, enjoying the sunshine. It is glorious weather. We've just come to the Giralda. So this is the Seville Giralda. And what's really interesting about this is that this was built about 30 years after the Koutoubia, which is the mosque in Marrakesh. And if you've seen my Marrakesh video, then you'll have seen the Koutoubia there. The Giralda was built by the same architect and it looks very, very similar. So it's largely thought that the Koutoubia minaret inspired the Giralda minaret. This was in the 12th century, so this was when this part of Spain was Moorish and was Muslim. So this part of Spain, Andalusia, was Moorish controlled for around 400 years. This meant that it was a Muslim area. In 1492, the Moors left this area and then Christianity then took over. So this is why to this day there is still a lot of Moorish architecture throughout this part of Spain. There's also the Alhambra in Granada and the Alcazar, which is right here in Seville. We're going to try and look around it later. But when the Christians came in, they changed a lot of the mosques to churches. So this now functions as the Cathedral of Seville, but it does still have this very Moorish tower. Can a video of your map? Why? How different generations travel. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this one over here. Go and see if they'll let us in at some point today. How much custom do you think those carts get? I was going to buy tickets on Get Your Guide yesterday, but I got distracted for like half an hour, and when I went back they were all gone. So I don't know if we can still buy tickets, but having a little walk around to see if we can find like the box office or something. See a sign for the taquilla. It says tickets sold out. Unfortunately, they are sold out today. It is a Saturday, and we are looking for tickets on the day, so that is unsurprising. But just a reminder, if you are visiting Seville, particularly at the weekend, it is a good idea to get your Alcazar tickets in advance. I will put a link in the description to the tickets that I found on Get Your Guide. So the Alcazar was built in the 10th century as a Moorish fortress, and then after the Moors left Spain, it remained a royal palace, and nowadays it has Renaissance and Baroque styles as well. So it's quite an interesting palace as it has all of these different architectural styles. It is one of the oldest royal palaces in Europe, and it is still used as the residence for the King of Spain when he visits Seville. So it would have been nice to see inside, but never mind. Maybe we'll go in the cathedral instead. Somewhere that I always try to go to when I'm in Spain is 100 Montaditos, which is basically like the Spanish Wetherspoons, but it's not touristy at all. They're most famous for serving Montaditos, which are like tiny little sandwiches, but they serve things like olives, croquettes, and also very cheap glasses of wine as well. So I've eaten a few of these now, but these were the cheese croquettes that I got, which are vegetarian. Then I got a bowl of olives and 2 incredibly full glasses of wine, all for €7.50. It's a great place to visit if you're travelling Spain on a budget. It was the hardest thing to find vegetarian tapas in Seville tonight. We have come to El Patio de Lolita, and there were a few veggie options on the menu. So there were these patatas bravas, which I know we're not in the patatas bravas region of Spain. Then there's ratatouille, which again, not in France, but that seemed to be a tapas. And then this is actually a Sevillian tapas, espinicas con garbanzos, which is spinach with chickpea. And that is pretty tasty. Just a little Seville travel tip for you. There's lots of horses around, which means there's lots of horse dung around. So do be careful of that, because I just stepped right into a pile of fresh horse dung. Lovely. Good morning. I am just about to leave for Seville train station, and today my journey is taking me as far as Andorra. It's just after 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning in Seville. I packed up all my stuff, but now we've got to go and hopefully locate an Uber that will take me to the station. Spain on a Sunday morning. I've arrived at Sevilla Santa Justa station. This is the main station in Sevilla, and it is where all of the national trains connect from. I've just said goodbye to my mum. We've been travelling in Morocco together, and I persuaded her to overland as far as Sevilla, but she didn't want to overland back from Sevilla, which is fair enough. I'm getting a few buses and a night train to get back to London, so it is going to get a little bit more intense. My train is up there. It is the 8:40 to Barcelona Sants. Corrada and Corrada stops in Corrada. I'm presuming that's not anything I need to know. I presume that just means that it stops in Corrada. Maybe it doesn't usually. So let's have a walk around and see what I can get for breakfast. I think this place is my best bet. Basically trying to see if I can get a cappuccino with soya or oat milk. This place is a proper coffee machine, so I think it's my best bet. ¿Hay leche de soya o leche de avena para la café? De soja. Ok. ¿Puedes tener cappuccino con leche de soja? Y también croissant chocolate? Gracias. This is something interesting to look out for. So I just had a look on the board and I thought, why is my train not up there? It says there's one at 41 to Cordoba and one at 32 to Cadiz. And yeah, then I had a look at the top and I realised it says cercanías y media distancia, which means like cercanías is like local trains and media distancia is like medium distance. So I'm guessing I'm a long distance train, and I did see my train listed over here before. So let's go and check it's still there. See the moment of truth. Oh yeah, we're still there. 8:40, Barcelona Sants. And actually it does say what platform, so I'm going to buy some water and then I might go through. I don't know if the train is here. I don't know if it stops here or what, but yeah, maybe let's go locate some water. I do begrudge buying water in European cities, but I don't know if there is a water fountain here. forgot to fill up from the sink before I left, so I might have to buy a bottle. There are some tiendas over there. Ah, that's it. No prices either. This could be wildly expensive. €3.50 on water. Ugh. Right, let's go see if the train's there before I spend any more money. Do let me know in the comments what you think the best country for travelling by train is, because I think it might be Spain. Spanish trains are so good. They are of such a higher quality than the trains we have back in the UK, and they're cheaper as well. I'm just gonna try and find the restaurant part, because they also have this on Spanish trains, because I only had a croissant for breakfast and I'm getting a bit hungry. Even the toilets are so much better. Tomate. Sí. Tostada. Sí. Can't believe I've just eaten more bread. Real talk, I am pretty bloated and uncomfortable after eating so much bread in Morocco, which I don't normally eat that much bread, and my digestion's having a bit of a problem with it, but there just wasn't really anything else, so I ended up having had a croissant earlier and then pancakes and that just there. Honestly, I need some fruit. Four and a half hours later and I have made it to Lleida. It is chilly here. I always forget how different the climates are in Spain. Just like when you go over some of the mountains, it's just entirely different. So it's a good sort of 12 degrees colder than it was in Seville. That train was just fantastic. I mean, I was editing pretty much the whole time, apart from my little break to get some food, but it just flew by. And just, can we have Renfe trains in the UK, please? Pretty sure that this 4.5 hour train cost me like €40. It's just great. My next transfer is at 4 o'clock. It's now 1:30. I would prefer to get to Andorra sooner if I can. I have been to Lleida before. I think I've seen it. But let's have a little look and see if there's any chance I can change my Flixbus. Doesn't look like there were any earlier. Pretty sure there is one. It's fully booked. So when I booked this train, I didn't want to book the 2 o'clock that leaves from Lleida and gets to Andorra, because I never trust trains. Although I've been singing the praises of Renfe, I feel like they're quite reliable. That's why I booked the 4 p.m. train, but that doesn't mean I have 2.5 hours now to do... I'm not sure. Guess I'll take a little walk and see what I come across. I've discovered this cafe at the station. I cannot eat any more bread, but they do have a veggies and vegans section and there is a salad on it, so I think I'm going to get that. Scratch that, the salad was €8 and it did not look appetising in the slightest. Best sushi in Lleida, apparently. Hola. Buenas. Royal vegetariano? Sí. Just a girl with her sushi sitting in front of the train station. I'm really glad that I checked that. So I was just sitting and I thought, you know what, I'm going to find where my bus is leaving from, just to save any unnecessary stress in an hour or so. And actually it wasn't leaving from where I thought it would be. The Algeciras buses seem to leave from the other side of the road, even though that's not the way to Andorra. But I'm not going with Algeciras, I'm going with Andbus, and they leave from a separate stop. So this is it behind me. It's actually more of a minibus. I booked via the Flixbus website, but you can book on the Flixbus website for other bus companies if it's an area that they don't serve. And this seems to be their partner for Andorra. So it's already sitting here. We're not leaving for another hour, but I presume this is my bus. And the station is just over there. It is a little bit late in the day, but I think I'm going to go back to the station and get a coffee because I've still got another border to cross today. Hola, ¿hay leche de avena o de soja?
Leche, sí.
¿Sí? ¿De avena?
Leche soja, sí.
Oh, solo soja.
No, solo soja.
Okay. Cappuccino con leche de soja, por favor.
Vale.
Gracias. Coffee is consumed. I've got some writing work to do on my laptop, so I tried to get some Google Docs sorted to make them available offline. But the bus is very small, which suggests to me it might be going up some windy mountain roads. So I'm not sure how well that's going to go, but we'll give it a try at least. So I'm just walking back to the bus stop now, very early actually. It's only about 25 to, but I did want to try and get on as soon as it was boarding so I could get a decent seat. I'm not sure how busy it will be. The 2 p.m. bus did say it was full, but maybe that was just because it was close to the time. Bus is boarding, pop my bag on board. It's not leaving for 20 minutes or so, so I do have a little bit of time. I probably should start this work in the next 20 minutes, to be fair. What's taking me up to Andorra? I will pop the Google Maps location of this bus stop in the description, just in case anyone else is taking the bus to Andorra, because it did take me a little while to find. I have made it to my 77th country, Andorra La Vella. That bus was windy, as I thought it might be, and I did feel slightly nauseous at quite a few points of it. But I'm glad to have arrived. I know I had sushi for lunch, but I have my sights set on an udon restaurant for dinner. I need to eat something that isn't bread for a bit longer, I think. So it's a 16-minute walk away. I might stop off and try and get some chocolate as well to have after dinner. And then from there, it's about 10 minutes walk to my hotel. So as long as the restaurant is open, which I think it is, then that sounds like a good plan. Right, I believe it's this way. Zebra crossings on the continent are so deceiving because I always think they are actually zebra crossings, but they're not. You have to wait for the little red man to turn into a green man. So, Andorra, it's definitely colder than Lleida was, and a couple of interesting things happened at the border. So, first up, my data doesn't work, and I need to look up exactly why that is. I don't know if is it in the EU? Surely it's in the EU, but for some reason it's not in the data area. So I've had to turn my mobile data off. It's the first time in a while I've not had any data at all, so hopefully I remember how to travel without it. And the other thing, it's very strange. So we stopped at the border. Police got on and they asked to see our passports, which sometimes does happen even when you're going through EU countries. But he put a bag, so he gets on, there's only 3 people on the bus. He gets on, checks everyone's passports, then he puts a small bag underneath the seat opposite me. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, that's very strange. Then a sniffer dog gets on, has a sniff around, and then there's obviously a smell in that bag that the sniffer dog is trained to seek out. Because when the policeman gets back on, the sniffer dog then alerts him to the bag. Then he takes the bag and he says, okay, and then we go. But does anyone know what that is? Like, I've never seen that before. For a minute I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not being framed for something here, am I? Because I was the closest person to it, but all good. I guess maybe there's a smell in it that the sniffer dog is trained to smell out, and maybe the policeman is checking that they still know how to do it, or maybe it was being trained still. But yeah, if you know, please let me know in the comments. So this is the main street of Andorra La Vella, and this should lead up to the old city. So I was actually dropped off the other side of the city to where I'm staying. It is a half-hour walk in total, which is all right. I've got to drag my suitcase, but it's okay. I do kind of wish that I was one of those people who like McDonald's and also could eat McDonald's without feeling horrendous after. But I am neither of those things. I only eat McDonald's if I'm savagely hungover. And my noodles will be good. It's just the effort of having to find the restaurant. Not much is open, including a lot of restaurants. But I think this one is. In an ideal world, I will be able to sit there, have a bowl of vegan ramen, get on Wi-Fi. I've been travelling long enough to know that things often don't go to plan. Vegan. That was exactly what I needed. I had genuinely got so sick of bread, but that's good. I feel full and content now. So I'm just walking down what looks like to be a main shopping street of Andorra. And it will be interesting to see in the light, but the lights go up really high, so that was all the Pyrenees Mountains up there. Right, it's a 10-minute walk now to the hotel, and then I can finally rest. Finally, I have made it. Oh, it's a bit dark in here, and I don't actually think there are any other lights. Oh, there is one. But let me put you down so I can... There we go. That's a bit better. Let me put you down so I can have a proper chat. The journey was actually fine. The train, great. Absolutely zero complaints. Like, just fabulous. The van was very quick. It was just a bit bumpy and windy, and I did feel a little bit sick. But the journey itself was absolutely fine. It's just a bit of a long day. I have covered some ground today. I've gone from the south of Spain to, well, not even the north of Spain. I'm not in Spain anymore. So it has been quite the day. Hopefully I will sleep well tonight. So I am in Andorra for one day and one day only, less than a day really. I'm getting a bus at 4 p.m. tomorrow. So I am booked into the spa across the road in the morning. Then I'll spend a few hours walking around before coming back to grab my bag and then heading off. I'm going to do another video all about Andorra. Even though I'm not here for that long, I feel like it is another country. I feel like it deserves its own video. So do stay tuned for that. That will probably be out probably after my Christmas series. So it might be out sort of in the bit between Christmas and New Year. We'll see how I get on with editing. And I'll give you a little montage of my time in Andorra. Hit it. Enjoyed that little montage of my one day in Andorra. It's been a pretty good day, although I definitely didn't see the best of Andorra. I know the best is out in the mountains, out in the hiking trails and out in the ski slopes, but I'm just at the Andorra de la Vella bus station now. So this is the bus station that I came into yesterday, and it is also pretty much where everyone comes into when they arrive in the country because there's no airport. So if you want to get to Andorra de la Vella by flying, you have to either fly into Barcelona or Toulouse and get a bus from there. So looking at the departures now, they're just up here. And basically the only real places that it goes to are Barcelona, Lleida or Toulouse. The bus station is quite nice, it's modern, has free toilets, vending machines, free Wi-Fi. I've got about 40 minutes until my bus. I'm here a little bit early actually. And then I'll be on the 4 p.m. to Toulouse, and I'm really hoping that it won't be a minibus today. It may well be, but fingers crossed it won't, because I did get a little bit motion sick yesterday. Here we go. It is another minibus. And it is also very, very quiet. I was hoping it would be like one of these buses, but unfortunately not. And so far, it is only me on this bus, so you can see just your standard minibus. I have arrived in Toulouse, a city I've never been to before, and it's very dark, and I'm back here with my trusty suitcase in tow. So I don't think I'm going to be doing much exploring. The bus station and the train station are right next to each other, but that's not where like most of the city is. It's actually a 20-minute walk away. So I am once again walking with my bag. And I was just having a little look on Happy Cow to see some options for eating, and I think I'm going to go to Walk, which, do we have them in the UK? I don't actually know, but I know it is like an international chain. I know it's not a local food, but vegetarian options in France are never that good. And after eating so much bread in Morocco, I'm just having a real craving for Asian food. I think me and my suitcase are going to walk 20 minutes to Walk, and then 20 minutes back.
the way to the noodles restaurant, and then I walked past this Mexican place and I thought, you know what, I could do a Mexican, and they had veggie chili like bowls. In all honesty, it looks a bit small. And I did see outside they had guacamole, and then inside they said they didn't, so it's alright. I have arrived at Toulouse Matabao station. Sorry, I'm probably absolutely butchering that, but this is the main station of Toulouse, and it is where my night train departs from. So I am taking a night train all the way up to Paris Austerlitz station. It's actually a really nicely timed night train. It leaves at 10:23, I believe, and gets in just past 7 in the morning. So nearly 9 hours. So I should be able to get some decent sleep. Let's go inside and I'll double check all my details. I'm not even sure what bed I booked or anything. I know I've got a bed, but I'm not sure what kind. So this is Toulouse station. This is hall 2. And it said on the board my entry is from hall 1. L'eau potable. That is what the people want, isn't it? Paris Austerlitz, and it says access uniquement via hall 1. This is hall 2, I believe. Yeah, hall 2. So let's go find hall 1. There's a McDonald's, which is open, and this is hall 2. There's also a water fountain there, and I'm guessing when the time comes, I just go down here to get my train. I wonder if everyone's getting on my train or if people are going to others. Because I'm a little bit of a train nerd, I quite like to look at boards of trains in foreign countries and look them up on Google Maps to see where they're going. So, for example, the train at 21:26 is going to Carmax, which is only an hour and 15-minute drive away. I also realised I haven't yet looked at my ticket, so let's double check I've got it. And let's see where I'm actually sitting or sleeping. Your trip, Toulouse how do I say that? Matabiao. Sorry, my French pronunciation is awful. To Paris Austerlitz, outbound on Monday the 18th of November 2024. Thank you and have a pleasant trip. I'll try. Coach 8, seat 36, bunk top. Ah, damn it. I was hoping I wouldn't be on a top bunk. I've got an overactive bladder, so to me and top bunks never really get on, but if I recall at the time of booking there wasn't an option to select the lower bunk, so I would have paid extra for it, but damn it. Well, no more water for me then, I guess. So it looks like everyone is just hanging around waiting for boarding. I am actually going to go get ready for bed in the toilet. Here we go then, number 8, which is me. Right, let's go. Well, that was all very go, go, go. We were hanging around for ages, and then all of a sudden it was, right, we're going. This is the platform we had to get on. Found my wagon, got all settled, and it seems to be now it's bedtime. They've turned the lights off in my cabin, which I don't mind at all because I need my sleep. So I should be able to show you all around everything in the morning. But for now, I'm going to bed. Good night. Hopefully the train's not going to go anywhere. But quickly, this is the room. These are all 4 beds, and my bag's just under here. I have arrived in Paris. So I was a little bit confused when I got on the train last night because I don't normally book first class. It wasn't like fancy first class or anything, but the second class have 6 berths per cabin, whereas the first class only have 4 berths per cabin. And I would have booked a female-only cabin, so I'm guessing maybe that's why I ended up booking first. Maybe they weren't available in second class. Wondering if I can just jump on and have a little look at one of the second class cabins. I was trying to film a bit when I was getting off the train, but then I was like, ooh, what if it's going to leave? But it's alright, they seem to be getting bedding off the train and stuff. It's a bit of a risky business I'm playing, getting back on the train, but this was my cabin. The light's on still, so you can see that was my bunk. One down there, one across, and one up. And hopefully I've showed you everything in the kind of little seat tour I did last night as well. And then we'll go down here. I don't know if you can see in the window, but there are 3 going down, so that would be the middle one, and there'd be one below. So it just looks like this. What a thrill! The only difference is that the second class cabins have 6 people in, whereas the first class have 4 people in. And I've always thought when you're sharing a room with someone, whether that's a train carriage or a dorm, not that I stay in dorms anymore, I've always thought it doesn't really make a difference how many people you're staying with. Just staying with less people gives you a higher chance of not being with someone really annoying. Quite roomy, to be fair, but I wouldn't want to be in one all night. They'd be fine for a day. Obviously I did change into my pyjamas last night. It is just something that helps me sleep better. But that does mean that I now need to try and change out of my pyjamas, and I need to find somewhere to do it. That is much, much, much better. My only regret is that I don't have a pair of fresh socks, so I am wearing yesterday's socks still, which is making my feet feel a bit gross. But other than that, I feel clean, I feel refreshed, I feel like I had a good night's sleep. Looks like from Paris Austerlitz station, I just need to walk over this bridge to get to the Gare de Lyon, and from there I can take metro to the Gare du Nord. I would like to find an oat milk cappuccino and a pain au chocolat somewhere along the way as well. Pretty sure this is the Gare de Lyon up in front of me. French stations are very grand, aren't they? For the longest time you did need cash to buy Paris metro tickets still, but don't anymore. So I'm just at the metro station now, and I need line D. I do not do well with cities these days, there are so many people. Ooh. Right, Nord, Gare du Nord, okay. Well, that was called Café Tranqui, and it was very tranqui indeed. As always, I'll pop all of my recommendations from this video into a blog post, which will be linked in the description, and there you'll find the Google Maps links of everywhere I've gone to. So do check that out if you want to see Café Tranqui. Only thing I will mention is that it was on the other side of the road to what Google was seeming to say, but it was like on that road. Right, we are at the Gare du Nord. Is this van going to stop for me? Ooh. And it's starting to rain, so I think it's time to get inside. I want this one. Pull 2, UK flag. You're leaving the EU, sadly. So that was pretty much perfect timing for arriving into Paris Austerlitz and then getting to Gare du Nord and also getting some breakfast as well. Obviously I do also take a little bit of time like filming and stuff, and I had to get changed and get ready for the day, but I pretty much got here like just as at the time they advised you to, which was at 9:30 for a 10:54 train. Just looking at the board here, and it does say the 10:54 is delayed. It doesn't say how long for. It could be 2 minutes, it could be 2 hours. Hopefully that won't be too long, because I do have a train booked on the other side. It was 45 minutes late, and now it's gone up to an hour late. We are finally boarding. It's now 11:35, so maybe we'll get away a bit quicker. The frustrating thing was I am the earliest of birds and I could have technically got on the earlier train if my ticket had allowed, because I literally got here as they were boarding the earlier train. So that's a bit frustrating, but never mind. We're getting on it now, and I've changed my train at the other end to a super off-peak train, so I don't have to worry about that.
Item with you. The exit of the train.
I have made it! So this year I have officially travelled to Morocco without flying and back from Morocco without flying, and I can confirm that the way back was much less exhausting.